Hey guys, this is Z-Town Train. This is just a basic dude vlog, and we're doing another review today. Hey, check this out. It's a really interesting piece of gear. I feel so mixed up about this gear. I want to love it. I really want to like it. This was a gift from an old friend of the channel, Robbie the Real American. We still have some videos up of him. I'm working on getting some videos edited that we did before. Really trying to get away from any kind of firearm aspects of my channel, because I would love to be more in tune with what's going on YouTube. And yes, I'm a huge proponent of the Second Amendment. I am a gun owner. I am not scared of what people think of me. However, if you do gun breakdowns and you do certain types of videos now, they either make you take them down. There are strikes on people's channels. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the firearms community. And to be honest, I love my guns and I love my Second Amendment, and I'm a huge proponent, and I'm willing to hold up a sign on any street corner you want me to. But I'd also like to talk to people about gear, and in order to keep my channel and keep everything going, this is what I'm willing to do. So now a lot of you are going to come up with the old Ben Franklin line, a man who would give away his liberty for a small amount of security deserves neither security nor liberty, and I'm paraphrasing, of course. Well, you know, screw off. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. Alright, so today on the review table, we have this piece of gear that I want to love. I want to love it. I don't love it completely, but I want to love it. And it is the UST Parahatchet FS. And this was a gift, like I said, it was a gift for Christmas from Robbie the Real American. Came with a bunch of gear that he gave me. And I want to love this so much. I really want to, because it's so cool looking, and it's got a cool name, and it's a cool concept. There are some things about it that I don't like, and some things about it that I love. Let's start off by getting this out of the way. The fire striker that comes with this, you might as well chuck in the garbage. You're going to use it. It has one line of fire strike on one side. I've used it one time. This little rod right here was the fire strike, and behind it is this rod. You would think that this rod is some kind of magnesium fire starter. It's not. It's just a piece of junk metal attached to this little bitty fire striker that, with one use, flattened out almost down against the other thing. It's basically junk. Keep it if you want a one-use emergency fire striker, because that's what the thing that comes with this Parahatchet is. It's one, maybe two uses, and so I say dump it. Next, let's take a look at the sheath, the belt carrier, which I actually like the shape of, but it is sort of inconvenient. So you'll notice, you take a look at this bad boy. It's kind of got a belt loop back here. It's sort of a small belt loop. I wouldn't carry this on my belt. My belts are kind of taller than that. And, you know, carrying it this way on my belt, maybe I'd carry it in the small of my back or something. Maybe I'd attach it with some kind of spring or something to a molly on a pack, might be better. But eventually, I think that if I do continue to use this piece of gear, I'm definitely going to make a leather cover for it, a leather sheath. So it opens like this, with some Velcro this way, but also has this snap catch at the top. Pull her out. All right. So and it's a pretty tough feeling thing. It looks like junk. The stuff's all frayed on it right when it comes out of the package, but whatever. At least they send it with a sheath. That's pretty nice. And here you go. So on the blade, you kind of got some, I believe it's like 9 feet of paracord. That's all well and good. It's a little dirty. I've tried using it a few times. You have 3 sizes of hex head wrench, which is interesting to me. I noticed this a lot more in tools, like utility tools and survival tools. They have these hex head. You know, you could really hurt yourself using this as a wrench. I mean, you've got a huge blade right here, and your cover covers, the sheath covers the hex head wrenches when you have it in there, so you have to have the blade out when you're using it, which is interesting to me. Let me clean a little gunk off this thing here. You have this rope cutter, which is nice. It seems to be pretty sharp. I also use that to scrape the black paint off of the fire striker before I started using it. I didn't strike the fire striker with this because, why? I just used my knife the way I always do, use the back of my knife. There's a little warning on here. Wear safety goggles user and bystander. Don't get stuff in your eyes. I wear safety goggles pretty often. My prescription glasses are OSHA safety rated, which is nice. Got a little nice UST mark here on the side. I think it's nice looking. I've used it a few times. I don't like... Let's start with the things that I do like. So I like that it's got this nice big beard on it, because you can get your hand up in here and use this a lot like you would a knife. And it's came out of the box decently sharp, you know. And so as a big kind of camp knifey sort of thing, it actually does work pretty well. It feels decent in your hand. Let's cut this to where I could still use this piece of rubber for something cool. Right on. And, you know, it cuts a lot like a knife. It's kind of like a big unwieldy knife, like you were using like a cheese cutting butcher's knife or something, instead of a regular camp knife, which is cool. Now, swinging this thing, in my opinion, is miserable. Let's grab a piece of wood here. See if you guys can't see that. Alright, so what I have here is an old chunked up 4x4 post. So here, swinging this thing, even sitting down or standing up. I'm going to sit down first, then I'll stand up if I feel like I need to. There's a huge problem with using this as a hatchet, and that is that there's not enough weight at the end of this. Using a hand tool is a lever and a fulcrum, and you swing, and you use your wrist in the swing, and you cut. And a lot of the things that your tools do, like your hatchet, your normal camp hatchet, your hammer, your mallet, all of these things, rely on a weight out at the end of the lever to do some of the work. You will notice that this does not have any kind of weight out at that end, except for the fact that the head is bigger than the handle. And to be honest, it doesn't add any weight to it at all. So when you're swinging it, even though it does cut, and I purposefully chose kind of a junk piece of wood so that I could cut it and not look like a big old puss. So it does cut, and you know, you could be here all day doing this and say, oh well, you know, it cuts just fine as a hatchet. It feels terrible, and to be honest, it'll wear you out, because you might as well be using your pocket knife. You might as well be using your pocket knife as a hatchet. It just has no weight out at the end of it. It does no work for you. You're doing all of the work yourself with your arm and your hand. And that's all well and good, I suppose. Look, it didn't hurt the blade at all. It's still sharp. La la la. It's probably pretty easy to sharpen. Don't like having the paracord around the handle. You're just going to wear the paracord out, and then it's useless for what you were going to use it for in a survival situation. Eventually you'll wear this out against the metal, or it feels like it could just come off. It doesn't really look like it's on the handle all that well. It feels loose. Using it makes your hand sore, because it is thin. Using it makes your hand sore, and that's all well and good. I mean, for a lot of things, I think this could be useful, and I want to love it because it looks super freaking cool. As survival gear goes, it is a super light hatchet, which makes it nice to go in your pack, and that's awesome. It does cut. You've seen that it'll do what a hatchet can do, and it'll kind of do what a knife can do, and those things are all good. It doesn't feel like a knife. It doesn't feel like a hatchet. It feels like a strange hybrid, and it doesn't feel right in your hand. If it had a little bit more weight out on the end of it, it would be amazing. This thing's also $16, which I don't think is a waste of money. Let's say that you wanted to have a camp hatchet or a survival hatchet to put in your bag. This would be a great way to go, because it is light. Because of the same things that make it frustrating to use are also the things that are pluses for this particular tool. Let's see here, what do we got? I wonder how the rope cutter will cut today. I wonder if I have a piece of rope up here somewhere. Ah, here we go. A piece of paracord here. Here's how you just take that into the rope cutter. Well, that did not work out as well as I'd hoped it was going to, because I've used it before and it seemed to work. There we go. So it does cut rope with the rope cutter. Overall, I would give the UST Parahatchet FS a 3.5 out of 5, with the caveat that the lightness of this tool is what is the big plus of it. It's not going to do a lot of the work for you, and if you are in a survival situation, you might be wanting to save a little bit of energy, so going around hacking up 4x4s might not be the way that you would want to go anyway. Anyhow, 3.5 out of 5. I like it. I want to love it. I like it, but I want to love it, and that's the way it goes. So this is E-Town Train. This has been Just a Basic Dude Vlog Reviews, and I am out of here. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.